I come to the ninth part of the labor market policies lecture of the gender economics course. This lecture series is prepared for the Middlesex Technical University Northern Cyprus campus. And in this case, in this part, basically, we will start with reviewing the last table of the Rogers and Robbery article on minimum wage. And there, actually, we have three characteristics which are all kind of can be combined. Job segregation. You have different women and men in different jobs. Female jobs are usually paid less. I mean, this job segregation can be basis for this low payments. Yes, easily you might say. I mean, especially if you accept the neoclassical idea. Well, uh, the wages always reflect the productivity. Well, if wages reflect always the productivity, then basically anyone who is paid a small wage is actually uh, have a low productivity. And thus, we can come to the other point here: social valuation of the skills. The skills women have, women offer, the skills women are encouraged to have even in society. Uh, that's those skills that are seen more ladylike are the ones that are less valued in terms of in the labor market in terms of the monetary, their monetary value. And especially the fact that men and women are in different social hierarchies and the amount of time they spend might be less, especially when they are working in different workspaces. But they don't spend time usually together, but in different spheres. And job segregation is something, again, this reinforces this. Uh, well, this helps to basically separate them, and basically, especially if there are more men in the company, or men are more able to have have better social connections. Basically, women are not able to join to those circles and basically get those social connections. That helps to decrease wages of the woman. And in all cases, all those three cases, I mean, the conditions of the woman face, the separate sphere, the specific skills that are they need to have in those skills, they those that sphere and those skills are valued less, and this isolation of the woman created by separate skills and separate sphere, it might be a reason to decrease their wages, while minimum wage might very well uh, reduce the differences between the skills. And as a result, I mean, it might be even possible that the exchange of workers in the different skills might be more common. Workers in the different spheres might get more uh, close to each other, and they might basically spend more time together. They might use their connections, cooperate with each other more. I mean, female and male workers. And lastly, it might even be possible that the skills women are offering more valuable, especially when innovation is high, especially just like the spheres. I mean, some men might also want to get those skills and also basically uh, work in jobs that require those skills. Uh, so to sum up, uh, minimum wage, well, it might have certain problems. There are some potential problems which there is discussion whether they exist or not. The unemployment problem is a big question. Whether it really exists or not is a big question, or even though some neoclassical economists think that, of course, it exists, but believe me, in the neoclassical mainstream, very mainstream labor economics, this is a question. This is not something that is agreed on. And but some neoclassical economists who usually don't know, don't are not interested much on the labor market, and that's why they don't know some recent developments in the labor market necessarily, at least. Some of them know. Some of them know and argue. They have a strong position in that case. They know the other side, but they know there's a discussion in that case. I mean, they have a position in that argument only. But there are still a significant number of economists who might not know the discussion. They are not in the labor market that much. Well, and of course, enforcing the small companies, enforcing the powerful companies might be a problem, and preventing the employment discrimination might be another problem. Especially you might incentivize certain groups to women, for example, female employment, for example. But those when you encourage one group to employ more, other disadvantaged groups can, for example, young people, disabled people, old people, immigrants, they might suffer from that. I mean, that's why those policies should be all encompassing. Anyway, this is the Rogers and Robbery article. Now we can finally start looking to our last article, which is standing. The main the article is on the feminization of the labor force. It is a nice analysis of data, but before that, it also has made an analysis on the transformation of the labor market in the late second half of 21st century. Even you must say last 1/3 of the 20th century. The data on the global labor market shows that female labor employment levels are increasing, though their effect on wage difference is ambiguous. Although, as we have all seen in this part, I mean, what we have seen in the rest of this lecture can be seen in this article in more broad sense. The labor market flexibility, the breakdown of the formal labor market in general increase, well, at least absorb more women in the labor market, although the wage difference effect is questionable, and it increases the opportunities of the woman in the labor market also. And in some cases, that absorption is not necessarily something that is voluntarily done by the woman. That is done because the jobs of their husbands is not insecure now and paying less. But in other cases, it might also give some empowerment to the woman also. In that sense, we see enormous influx to the formal labor market of the woman by flexible labor market. So it opens a new sphere for the woman, one way or the other. And this article is actually able to make you look to the general characteristics of this process. And after this article, I will introduce you also to the discussion where this whole flexible labor market thing is discussed. It creates certainly more insecurity, more power imbalances, inequality in the labor market, which might be also harming the woman, maybe even in the developing countries. But it also gets women into the formal labor force. It makes men and women more equal, even if they are together less powerful. So this potential benefits and harms and potential harms that women might be also facing, maybe, I don't know. Maybe in some cases, women who were in the formal labor market might also, some segments of the female labor market might be also harmed by this. And also this inability to organize, they got into the labor market, but this inability to organize have created a very insecure labor market, which might also, as we have seen in the previous part, not even improve their conditions inside of the household, because I mean they are not able to well improve their positions inside of the working place and inside of within the family also. So all of these things are big questions, and those questions, let me just talk about the discussion. Will be discussed in this discussion on the case for flexible labor market. And here you have a video also on a more detailed video on the Bangladesh workers. Basically, it has more negative view compared with the article, but just watch it. I mean, the negative view on the working conditions of Bangladesh. And read also the first article. The first article, see the contrast of the views in that sense. Now let's go to the last article. The main idea here is, as we have seen, women, because of the problems in the disadvantage in the household division of labor, which itself might be maybe balancing out to some extent, are well, they are spending more. Uh, they need more flexible jobs. They might need to be able to have more temporary jobs, to quit from the jobs when it is necessary, maybe work from home. They are not able to organize. They are not able to get regular job for work 40 hours per week at standard time. Uh, well, they might not. They are disadvantaged in climbing up the job market ladder, basically, and get promotions. Uh, they are more like self-employed type of people. Actually, the labor market flexibility that increased in 1970s and 80s had made many of the jobs just like the jobs usually female people are getting. It has, well, let's see part of it um, from the article. Well, oh, I'm sorry. It has, well, in Las Vegas companies, for example, fewer people have entitlements, so you have less protection. That less protection means that, well, more women need to work because you have insecurity. You have insecurity in terms of providing free healthcare or free, let's say, uh, free education. Now you need more income. Of course, you need to have the houseworks to be done, especially if assistance or childcare assistance, things like that reduces. But you might try to find maybe family members, like in case of China, and other options for that, especially if you desperately need money. Uh, well, um, Well, the insiders, the powerful worker organizations, get less powerful. And those working organizations might be very well the ones that are standing against the woman. Now they are disorganized, as I said, even though in Chinese export processing zone men are working, they are not organized anymore. So that the lack of organization may also prevent them to getting women into those factories. Income security is removed, minimum wage is removed. So basically, desperate women can be employed for lower wage. So that gives, I mean, they can make use of this special more in the labor market. So that creates kind of an additional incentive for the companies to do that. You have a deskillization basically. So skills become redundant. So women without skills are able to get. You can employ now women without skills. And then in lower income companies, well, that's export that industrialization. There, as we have seen, again similar effects have been there. The regulations, the social norms, they become less powerful in certain zones, the export processing zones of the developing countries, and that itself might have been effective in getting women in. And also the jobs become less more flexible. I mean, more part-time jobs. More, for example, you only get job for 2 years. Basically, I mean, in that case, the man who can work for 10 years and the woman who can only work for 2 years and can then look for a child become they are at the same level now. I mean, this additional skills won't necessarily increase the wages or give an additional huge advantage to the man now. So in a way, the job market become more suitable for the female characteristics now. I mean, the just and the disadvantages that are preventing women to enter the job market are disappearing. Interestingly, so flexible labor market, as we have seen, with all its other problems, bad effects on the workforce in general, might be helping to some segments of the disadvantaged labor force. We will see the data in the next